back from another video, and today we're going to be going over the ASUS ZX53VW gaming laptop. It's not listed as a gaming laptop on Amazon or by ASUS, but technically I think it should be, and we'll get into those reasons as to why I think that in just a second. First up, if you guys really like the channel and you like the content, go ahead and hit subscribe down below real quick, get active and involved in the channel, come back every week for more content. Glad to have y'all here. So without further ado, let's get this started.
Alright you guys, going right into it, you can definitely tell this thing is set for gaming, built and designed aesthetically pleasing. They are calling it the F-22 fighter style jet look, and it is not labeled or sold as a Republic of Gamers or ROG laptop, but it definitely looks like one, especially when you open that lid. You've got those sleek, narrow angles and curves. Everything looks great. For the specifications, you're going to get that 15.6-inch screen. The GPU is the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 960M with 4 GB of dedicated memory. CPU is a 6th gen Intel i5-6300HQ 2.3 GHz, which turbos up to 3.2, which works great. OS is obviously Windows 10. Storage is going to be 512 gigs on an M.2 SSD, which we'll get into why that's so important later. And then you're only going to need 8 gigs of, it's labeled as DDR4 on Amazon, but it's technically DDR3 and that 802.11 AC Wi-Fi. This is a comparison of it next to my 17.5-inch laptop that I am replacing it with. And it is definitely not that much smaller. You really don't notice a whole lot, and you still get that number pad on the right hand side of the keyboard. Here you can kind of get a good angle and see what those red lines look like on that keyboard, and they're just great to look at all the time. On the WASD keys for gaming, they actually colored the sides of it red so that it's easy to see at nighttime if your backlit keyboard is not yet on. That being said, you can also see at this angle, I went ahead and showed you the red underlit keyboard with those WASD keys, and on that left hand side you've got the red colored heatsink, which I thought was just perfect. For the I/O ports, you've got the Ethernet cable in, HDMI in, 2 3.1 USB ports, and 1 USB Type-C port with an audio jack in for your headphones. On the right hand side, you're going to have the Kensington lock up top, the DVD player, yes it does come with a DVD player, not Blu-ray, just DVD, and then you have another 3.1 USB port as well with no other ports. For the power bank, it's going to come with this really premium feeling and looking power brick, which is great. Not very cumbersome. The wires set in there real well, so it shouldn't break off very easily. And as opposed to my first laptop, which came with a 2-pronged power plug, this comes with a full 3-pronged power plug for all the juice that it's going to need when you're gaming and using this thing like a power horse. And this is the cable it comes with. I went ahead and did a cold start for y'all to see how quickly these laptops boot up with their new SSD versus the old, the M.2 versus the HDD. And mind you, the old laptop is running off of a 4,500 RPM hard drive that has been used for the last 4 years. Although I did keep it up, and it pretty much boots up as fast as it did when I first got it. You can definitely see an improvement with the M.2 versus the HDD. And the M.2 is actually technically quicker than the old current standard, the SATA SSDs, because it's a smaller solid state stick connected directly to the motherboard. And then I went ahead and opened it up into Windows to show y'all just how quick it loads for that as well. And I just pressed enter at the same time. And technically the ASUS had to work harder because I have Steam opening up whenever the laptop opens up on the ASUS versus on the previous laptop, which didn't have to do that, and it still beat it to the punch. Right here, I definitely wanted to show y'all a shot of what it looks like for the thickness of the laptop. Because of the way the angles on the front for the speakers on the new one, it makes it look taller, but it really isn't. Also, when you plug in the software, I didn't do this, they do this on their own. When you plug it in, it has a little Republic of Gamers symbol, as if it really is a Republic of Gamers laptop. Now, I wanted to show y'all some of the gaming abilities of this laptop with that 960M, but because of the screen viewing software, in order to record that, it actually takes away the quality of the gaming while I'm playing it because it's having to use the CPU a lot. So technically I couldn't use that and give you the true performance. So what I did was I went ahead and showed you right here. I've got it set to 1920 by 1080p HD resolution, 60 FPS with 60 frames synced together. I've got ambient occlusion on. I've got the like pretty much everything you're gonna need turned on to make it really high definition. The anti-aliasing is on at ×8, everything. Then I went ahead right here, and you can hopefully see in the top right hand corner with the frame counter, I took it off the syncing of the 60 frames, and it'll go anywhere upwards of 120 frames per second down to 70, 90, back to 60, but it still causes that split frame look that you don't really want. I went ahead and tried it out on Skyrim too, but when you go into Skyrim, and you can select the graphics card as well and change the resolution, I went ahead and put it widescreen 1080p to try it out and show y'all. When you're at nighttime on Skyrim, which I'll show you in a second, it only goes to 30 or 40 FPS. I have no idea why. When it gets up to daytime, it can handle more, like 45, 50 frames per second. And if you put Skyrim down to 720p, which you will not be able to tell the difference, to be honest, on this laptop, it can handle over 60 frames per second easily, especially even at nighttime. Now this though, I wanted to show you is the worst case scenario. It's at nighttime with 1080p going. No other applications are running in the background. This is just the way it runs. And it's even still pretty smooth at 30 FPS. It's just not as clean as you would want it to be. But for a laptop under $800, definitely worth the price.
Thank you guys again so much for stopping by, taking your time to press play and make it all the way through this video. If you guys like what y'all saw, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Come back every week for more content. And if you guys want to check out the laptop on Amazon, I've also got a link down in the description down below for that as well if you want to go check that out. Anyways, thank you guys again so much for watching. May the force be with you.